Hello dear students, today we will be starting with the new topic of our chapter, that is chemical properties of metals and non-metals. So the first reaction is reaction with oxygen. When metal reacts with oxygen, metal oxide is the product which is formed. Now let us discuss some of the metals. Sodium and potassium metals vigorously react with oxygen and moisture present in the air because they come first in the reactivity series. First and second metals, first one is potassium, second is sodium. So these both are highly reactive, so they react vigorously or very fastly with oxygen and moisture present in the air, and they can catch fire also. So therefore sodium is kept immersed in kerosene oil also. Now the reaction will be 4Na plus O2 gives 2Na2O. This is sodium plus oxygen will give sodium oxide. Here the number 4 and 2 which is put before the elements or compounds, this is for the balancing of the equation. Balancing is necessary according to law of conservation of mass, that mass can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. So we have to take the reactants, the number of reactants and the products same. That means LHS should be equal to RHS. Now the next one is magnesium metal burns with a dazzling white flame in the presence of air. As you have all gone through the experiment also, that when magnesium ribbon was burnt, it produces a dazzling white flame just like the firecrackers. So when the reaction takes place, it is like this: 2 mg plus O2 heat we have to give, and it will form 2 mgO. So here we have to burn a bit, that means a bit heat is required. Whereas when zinc reacts with oxygen, it needs strong heating. So 2Zn plus O2 heat is given, then it will form 2ZnO, that is zinc oxide. Metal oxides are basic in nature because when dissolved in water they form metal hydroxides bases, which turns red litmus blue. So if we are taking Na2O, K2O as example of metal oxides, and when you are dissolving them in water, then they will form NaOH or KOH, that is sodium hydroxide and potassium hydroxide respectively, and they are known as bases which turns red litmus blue. See, here is the reaction given. Na2O plus H2O will give NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide. K2O plus H2O will give KOH, that is potassium hydroxide. So these alkalis will be formed. Alkalis are those bases which can dissolve in water. That means all the bases cannot be dissolved in water, but the bases which can be dissolved in water are known as alkalis. For example, NaOH and KOH are alkalis. So the next topic is corrosion. The process where a metal gets decomposed in the presence of atmospheric gases and moisture, that is known as corrosion. So example 1 is rusting of iron. As you all are aware about the rusting of iron, it is because that the oxygen and water which is present in the atmosphere, they react with iron metal and they decompose it and they form rust. So here the reaction is like this: 4Fe, that is iron, plus 3O2 oxygen will give 2Fe2O3, that is iron oxide. When Fe2O3 iron oxide, it will react with water which is present in atmosphere again, then it will form Fe2O3 dot NH2O. Here N means 1, 2, 3, 4, so on, any number. It is just depending upon the water molecules, the number of water molecules which are present in the atmosphere. So when they will form this compound, this is known as rust, Fe2O3 dot NH2O, that is hydrated iron oxide. Now the next one, second example is green coating on copper articles, that is also corrosion of copper. When copper reacts with oxygen, carbon dioxide and water present in the atmosphere, then it will form basic copper carbonate, which has the formula CuOH whole twice dot CuCO3. So this is the complete formula of basic copper carbonate. Next example is silver objects tarnish and forms a black coating of silver sulfide. That is also a type of corrosion. Silver 2Ag plus H2S, that is hydrogen sulfide gas. That means Ag, silver and gold. Silver, gold and platinum, all three are noble metals, as I have told you. They are non-reactive or less reactive, but in many years they can get corrode. It is mainly with silver, and it do not corrode due to oxygen, carbon dioxide or water moisture in the atmosphere. It only happens when hydrogen sulfide gas is present in the atmosphere. So it will form a black coating on the silver object, that is tarnishing of silver, and it will form Ag2S, silver sulfide, plus H2 gas will be liberated. Gold and platinum do not react with oxygen, it is written here. Then methods to prevent rusting. When there is rusting, we have to prevent it. Then what we have to do, first one is we can paint it, oiling and greasing. Machinery we can do like that, oiling, greasing, and painting also we can do. Then next one is alloying with chromium and nickel. Alloy is a homogeneous mixture of metal and non-metal, or it may be two or more metals which are mixed together in molten form, and a homogeneous mixture is made, that is known as alloy. The alloy is having the properties of the constituent metals, or metal or non-metal. So with chromium and nickel we can alloy the iron metal, and due to that corrosion or rusting can be prevented. Then third one is electroplating. In this process, zinc or any other metal is coated on iron in the presence of electric current. So a strong coating or layer of zinc is formed on iron. As a result, it will not corrode. Then the next reaction is reaction of non-metals with oxygen. So till now we have studied about the reaction of metals with oxygen. Now the next one is reaction of non-metals with oxygen. Most of the non-metallic oxides are acidic. Some are neutral also. So when they non-metals, when they combine with oxygen, they will form non-metallic oxides which are acidic or neutral. So examples are C plus O2 gives CO2. CO2 when dissolved in water, H2O, it will form carbonic acid, H2CO3. Whereas sulfur plus oxygen will give sulfur dioxide gas. When it is reacting with water, it will form sulfurous acid, H2SO3. Next one is H2 plus O2. Hydrogen is also a non-metal. When it reacts with oxygen, it will form water, which is a neutral oxide. Next reaction is reaction with water. Reaction of metals with water. Metals reacts with water to produce metal hydroxides or metal oxides and hydrogen gas. Sodium, potassium and calcium metals are highly reactive, as I have told you earlier. So they can react with cold water and the reaction is exothermic. But this doesn't mean that they can only react with cold water. They can react with hot water and steam also, but the reaction will be highly exothermic and dangerous. So they react with cold water first. So we will be studying that. This reaction is also exothermic, and which results in explosive burning of hydrogen. So they can catch fire also. Example is 2Na plus 2H2O will give 2NaOH plus H2, that is hydrogen gas. Magnesium, zinc and iron metals react with steam to produce metal oxide and hydrogen gas. Magnesium plus H2O will give MgO, magnesium oxide plus H2. Now here I have drawn a symbol of arrow up. This represents that a gas is evolved, while if the sign arrow down is there, it represents that a precipitate is formed. Precipitate is any insoluble substance which settles down after the reaction. So it is known as precipitate, and we will be putting arrow down sign in front of it, as I have put arrow up sign in front of gas evolved H2. Some metals like Pb, that is lead, Cu, that is copper, Sn, that is tin, Au, that is Gold, Ag, that is silver, Pt, that is platinum, do not react with steam or water because they are less reactive. Reaction of non-metals with water. Non-metals do not react with water. Oxygen dissolved in water is taken by the aquatic organisms. So oxygen is non-metal, it gets dissolved in water in less amount. And chlorine gas also dissolves in water to form acidic solution. Otherwise the non-metals, they do not react with water.